The tune was so difficult to sing.
Yeah, yeah. And it was just coming. It was just
Yeah,
directly just comes. There was no preparation, no composition, no like trying this, trying that. Just
spontaneity.
direct it comes.
Yeah.
So, and I've just been doing that since a few weeks. Whenever the thought comes to me, instead of singing the standard tune, just take the rag, take the words, put them together, and you have a song. It's uh,
Yeah.
it's almost an automatic platform for creation. So the
And
rag
it is
give,
full of bhava.
yeah, and still it is full of bhava. Exactly. ये दरबारी में भी आएंगे तो भी भाव आता है, पूरिया में धनश्री में भी आता है. So in, yeah, whatever the rag you take, it just takes it on. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. This music, this whole thing of the body and what all we are capable of, what all each one of us is equipped to bring to life, to bring to life. We are all super equipped. I don't know if I shared with you about, did I share about the hair, hair, how the body grows hair? Yeah. So I was just, how fascinating the body, human body is. So, एक दिन में,
Yeah. You shared
कित,
with me, I think.
with,
Yeah.
yeah, एक दिन में कितना, कितने बाल ग्रो होते हैं एक दिन में. So, any idea if you just take a guess, थोड़ा थोड़ा ग्रो होता है, तो एक दिन में कितना होता होगा? 1 मिलीमीटर, 10 मिलीमीटर, 1 सेंटीमीटर, कितना एक दिन में बाल कितना उगता है? जस्ट टेक अ गेस.
डिपेंड्स कि कितना है, 1 मिलीमीटर होगा
कितना
तो
है?
Ilena.
अरे
अरे
एवरेज,
May
एवरेज पकड़ो ना, मेरे को मत
in
गिनना.
in in length or in quantity?
लेंथ, लेंथ, लेंथ.
1 millimeter.
Okay, 1 millimeter. Okay, close. But supposing we put, like, we have so many hair all over the body, so हर एक जो छोटा छोटा 1 मिलीमीटर बड़ा, वो सब जो बड़ा वो एंड टू एंड ऐसा लाइन बनाएंगे तो कितना बड़ा लाइन होगा? क्या सोचते हैं? मतलब एक ही सिंगल थ्रेड का बाल का टोटल टोटल लेंथ चाहिए अपने को, एक लेंथ नहीं, एक बाल का लेंथ नहीं, टोटल लेंथ कितना होगा? कितना लाइन?
It will
एक
be in
लाइन.
I
kilometers.
don't know. That I don't know.
don't know, we don't know, but नीलिमा जी, you're on mute.
यहाँ से मुंबई होगा या बैंगलोर होगा या कन्याकुमारी होगा
एक
या
दिन में,
हिमालय में.
एक दिन में.
नहीं, पूरे बाल का लेंथ ना, 1-1 मिलीमीटर, हजारों बाल रहते हैं,
फिर भी,
हजारों लाखों बाल है हमारे यहाँ.
हाँ,
तो अगर आपने यू टोल्ड कि यू हैव टू जॉइन द हेयर,
या
इफ यू
जॉइन द
जॉइन द
हेयर.
हेयर, हाँ,
या
तो जॉइन द हेयर, तो डिपेंड्स कि कितने घने बाल है. शुरू करेंगे तो कहाँ शुरू हो जाएंगे?
हाँ,
डिपेंड्स. सपोज लंबे बाल है तो वो और
नहीं नहीं,
लंबे हो.
लंबे तो बढ़ता, एक दिन में कितना बढ़ेगा ये क्वेश्चन है.
एक जनरली 1 मिलीमीटर या 2 मिलीमीटर.
हाँ, 1 मिलीमीटर
सेंटीमीटर
समझो,
तो नहीं
एक
मिलता
दो
एक दिन में
मिलीमीटर बढ़
सेंटीमीटर.
गया तो सबको ज्वाइन करेंगे तो कितना? इट
It will
इज,
be in kilometers.
मैं लाखों
वाले
मिलीमीटर.
बाप रे. हाँ,
लाखों बाल है तो सबका 1-1 मिलीमीटर तो लाखों मिलीमीटर.
करेक्ट. ये इंजीनियर का जवाब आ गया, बराबर है, साइंटिफिक आंसर है. So about, we have approximately 1 lakh hair follicles. So 1 lakh into 2 millimeters approximately, or 1 millimeter even, it comes out to about 50 meters. 50 मीटर, 50 मीटर बाल बनता है एक दिन में. एक आदमी 50 मीटर, 150 फुट. कैन यू इमेजिन? मतलब 150 फुट का बाल, एक सिंगल बाल लिया तो 150 फुट तक पहुंचा सकते हो वो बाल को गिन 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 के. सो एंड इट्स ऑलमोस्ट लाइक 1 सेंटीमीटर पर सेकेंड. 1 सेंटीमीटर पर सेकेंड चल रहा है ये. 1 सेंटीमीटर पर सेकेंड. धर 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 धर. कितना, क्या हो रहा है हमें पता भी नहीं है. Wait, let me verify that 1 centimeter. Okay, wait, 50 meters. So 50,000 millimeters. And there are, okay. So yeah, it's about 2 millimeters per second. 2 millimeters every second, 2 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 2 millimeter. So, Swaroop ji, hello. So, yeah, without my glasses, I cannot read, but I
Pretending,
got it.
not
I got it.
forgetting.
I got it. I got it. But so, but can you imagine this? Do you know what a miracle, marvel, and unbelievable this piece of equipment that we have called the body to express ourselves, to live our lives, to do what we do, to be what we are? 2 millimeters a second, you are growing hair, your body is growing hair 2 millimeters every second. 1 second, 2 millimeters, 2 millimeters, 2 millimeters. How about all the blood vessels in the body? Kitna length hoga? All the blood and the veins, the arteries and veins, if you connect all the arteries and veins, जो जहां से जिसमें से खून जाता है, कितना किलोमीटर? गैस चलो. नीलिमा जी, पूना तक तो पहुंच गए थे, अब दिल्ली तक पहुंच जाओ.
मेडिकल स्टूडेंट को आएगा सब.
मेडिकल स्टूडेंट को भी
60,000
शायद,
miles.
हाँ,
Approximately 60,000 miles.
करेक्ट, या
मेडिकल
60,000.
स्टूडेंट को आएगा, वही बताया.
हाँ, ये डॉक्टर है ना दो हमारे साथ.
हाँ,
So
इसलिए तो
I'm not
बोला.
sure if it was kilometers or miles, but it's something like that, like 50, 60,000 kilometers or maybe 50,000 miles. But imagine, matlab, the earth, your veins, just your blood vessels, okay, end to end, can go round the globe 3 times. 3 times. Drrrr, 3 times round the earth. Can you imagine? It's approximately 10,000 kilometers halfway round. 10,000, 10,000. So 3 times round the earth. Just one person's circulatory system. Because we have all these capillaries and, you know, all the veins, the capillaries, and just an unbelievable in piece of art and design and science, this equipment that we all have called the body. Just unreal. So we have been talking about celebrating life, living life to the fullest, being in joy, being in celebration, being aligned with divine all the time, experiencing that background of peace, lovingness, no matter what the external circumstances are. And there was a question yesterday ki when we are in difficult situations or we are feeling low, then Sonal ji had asked, then how to celebrate? So you got an answer based on what I said yesterday, Sonal ji? Not yet. Okay, what did I say yesterday?
In class, it looks very rosy. But actually, when it comes to actually handling the situation, सब गुल हो जाता है.
करेक्ट. और ये क्यों गुल हो जाता है? क्योंकि हम भूल जाते हैं. So what do you say? How do we?
टिप्स पूछा था, all the time कैसे हो सकता है? All the time.
या ऑल द टाइम कैसे हो सकता है? एग्जैक्टली सो कल हमने बात, वी वर टॉकिंग हाउ जो आप है, are you that sometimes and sometimes not, or you are this all the time? Are you this all the time or sometimes? Sometimes I am this, sometimes I'm not this. ऐसा है क्या कि all the time
Sometimes.
you are this? Huh?
Some,
No.
sometimes.
Hey, all the time.
All the time.
You say you're sometimes you are this, sometimes you're not this. Okay, what are you at those
Huh?
times when you're not this?
When this is not okay, that time it's gone.
It goes. Yeah, yeah. When yeah. But is it still when
It
yeah,
should be all the time, but it's not there.
no,
Yeah.
not. I'm not talking about some mood or a particular emotion or a particular feeling. The feelings, the mood may be good, mood may come back, mood may not be good. You may feel upset, you may feel, but I'm asking you, are you always that which is experiencing whatever is being experienced? That
Yes.
experiencer is
Yes.
always the experiencer,
Yeah.
or it sometimes you are the experiencer, sometimes somebody else is experiencing.
No,
ऐसा है
no,
क्या?
we are always, always,
Only.
You are always
always.
you are always you. You are always you, no matter what the content of you is, what the कौन सा पिक्चर चल रहा है वो फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. स्क्रीन तो स्क्रीन ही है.
Yeah,
स्क्रीन
that is
नहीं
okay,
बदलता.
correct.
उस पे मूवी अलग आता है, चैनल अलग आता है, अलग शो आते हैं, अलग क्वालिटीज आती है, लेकिन द स्क्रीन रिमेन्स द स्क्रीन. एंड दैट स्क्रीन इज द रियल यू, बिकॉज ये मूवी तो आती है और जाती है. So the real you can only be something which, if I want to know who am I, where am I, what am I cannot, I have to look for something which is my essence. और मेरा essence वही हो सकता है जो जिसके आने से और जाने से मैं नहीं बदलता, मैं वही का वही हूं, तो वो जो चीज आया और गया वो मैं नहीं हो सकता. सिंपल लॉजिक. Something that comes and goes and I remain who I am, then I cannot be that thing that came and went. Very simple. So that background on which everything is happening is not changing. And that is always there, always, always present. Your life has not been one single moment without the presence of I. Whether you were in some desperate situation, arrested by police, or in a hospital, almost, not knowing whether you will live or die, or you are, falling off a horse, or you are playing tennis, or no matter what you are doing, that background of who you are is always been present throughout your life. And it has not been present only since the beginning of your life. It has always been present. You cannot see any beginning to it. It did not begin with your birth because you never saw it beginning. It was always there. Only this body was born, and this attention and these eyes and ears and this particular set of equipment became available to you at your birth. But you were always there. So ये background जो है वो हम है. और जहां तक हम उस बैकग्राउंड के साथ बैठे हुए उसकी गोद में हैं, जब तक वहां तक this whatever comes and goes, whatever experiences of feeling low, challenging, and all that is simply the content or the something which comes and goes, and you can watch it, and you are only experiencing that background of who you are. And you are in touch with that background of who you are. And the qualities of that background of who you are is peace, is calmness, is love, is acceptance, is joy, is truth, is beauty. तो उसी में है आप. तो और ये there is one more aspect कि जो आता है और जाता है उसकी भी बनावट, उसकी भी एसेंस, उसका भी बैकग्राउंड वही है. So it is available not only by turning towards your background and seeing yourself, it is also available if you look at the background of whatever this challenging situation is. So what is the background of, give me an example of anyone. Give me an example in your life where you feel low or desperate, or you feel like the world, life sucks. And it's no good, and you're not able to celebrate this I that you are. Give me an example of such a situation. Anyone? Baba, if you can't think of such an example, means ये होता ही नहीं है.
Sonal, I think you were speaking in the morning to me, na?
तब तो झूमो, नाचो, गाओ, ऐश करो. किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है.
So Sonal had a situation today.
Yeah, maybe she doesn't want to share, but that's okay. If you want to share, you share that, or you create one example in your mind and say.
We try to help people.
Try to?
Assuming we try to help people.
Right.
Assuming they are in need.
Yeah.
Okay. But in return, they behave as if we are in need.
Okay.
So approximately, it becomes a challenging situation that why did I go to help? So how do you tackle such a case?
No, tackling का हमने कोई वो नहीं है हमारे पास.
हाँ, तो
हमारे
that makes you feel low.
Yeah, so okay, so it makes you feel low. Fine.
Yeah, it hurts
So,
कि अरे हम तो आपको मदद करने जा रहे हैं, उल्टा आप selfishly behave कर रहे हैं. So how do you tackle it? Means how
right.
do you
So
feel that
correct.
not
So okay. So what is the background of your help? So you are helping somebody. What is the background of that?
in COVID, we are not allowing the.
Not that way.
Then background means
context. What is the screen on which this help is happening? What is the framework within which something happens? See, anything that happens in or on something. So for example, I gave you that example once about 3 people are building a wall with bricks. They're putting bricks on top of each other. एक को पूछते 3 जन कर रहे हैं. एक पहले वाले को पूछा आप क्या कर रहे हैं? बोला कि मैं तो बस ये ब्रिक लेता हूँ, ये रखता हूँ और उस पे सीमेंट लगाता हूँ और दूसरी रखता हूँ, बस यही कर रहा हूँ. दूसरे को पूछा तुम क्या कर रहे हो? दूसरे ने बोला सर हम तो बस रोजी रोटी कमा रहे हैं, दिन खत्म हो जाएगा तो कुछ पैसे मिल जाएंगे, बीवी बच्चे और मैं खा लेंगे कुछ, और बस रोजी रोटी मिल जाती है, गुजारा कर रहा हूं. तीसरे को पूछा क्या कर रहे हो? बोला पता है मैं क्या कर रहा हूं, हम लोग स्कूल बना रहे हैं. ओके, सो दैट इज द बैकग्राउंड.
Attitude.
Background. Just stay with background.
Okay.
The 3 people are doing the same action. All 3 people दूर से देखेंगे तो वही काम कर रहे हैं. तीनों का foreground same है. Background अलग है कि same है?
Background meaning where you're coming from?
अलग है.
अलग है.
Background जो मैंने कहा उनका background.
Thought.
Background is background,
thinking.
Baba. Background, don't give another word. Background. Background. सीधा साधा word है यार background. उसका background, पहले वाले का background क्या है? पहला जो ईंट लगा रहे हैं उसका बैकग्राउंड क्या है?
कुछ भी नहीं, बस लगा रहा हूँ,
बस
खाली काम करता है,
काम कर रहा है। दूसरे का बैकग्राउंड क्या है?
रोजी
वो
रोटी
अपना
कमा रहा
लाइफ का गुजरान
गुजारी कर रहा है।
गुजारे।
और तीसरे का बैकग्राउंड क्या है?
हूँ। लोगों के लिए कुछ करना चाहता है, स्कूल बना रहा है।
फूल बना रहा है।
people useful doing some
Yeah.
useful thing for the people.
Sonal, you see the three backgrounds are different or they are the same? Different background. उसका जिस स्क्रीन पे वही पिक्चर चल रहा है लेकिन उसका बैकग्राउंड अलग है तीनों का। तो ये जो मदद कर रहे हैं आप, उसका बैकग्राउंड क्या है वो मैं पूछ रहा हूँ। नॉट ये कोविड वोविड, वो बैकग्राउंड क्या है, उसका फाउंडेशन क्या है, उसका कॉन्टेक्स्ट क्या है?
Help
एग्जैक्टली
my mother.
helping your mother. Helping your mother. Okay, that is the background. What is the background of helping your mother?
Yes.
What is the background of that?
Appointing people who are in need of jobs.
No, what is that? Is the action. That is the content. The content and action is foreground. The background is the context in which you are doing all this. What is the context in which you take care of your mother? What is the context of hiring somebody to take care of her? What is the context of helping somebody with their salary and rosy roti and whatever?
Need
Love or responsibility?
Sorry?
Love or responsibility?
Love. It is love. Exactly. The background is love.
okay.
What is the background of helping others?
Love.
Is it coming? Where is it coming from? That is what we mean when we say background. What is the source? What is the background? Sonal?
Yeah, love.
Exactly. And what is love any different than you? Who are you in your essence?
Love.
Love. So you are operating in alignment with who you really are. So remembering the background is all that is important. The action, the foreground, वो तो आएगा और जाएगा. आज हेल्प कर रहे हो, दूसरा कुछ, कल दूसरा कुछ करोगे, परसों और कुछ होगा. But this background does not change. This background remains love. And as long as you are in that love space, that is celebration. Being in lovingness, that is celebration. Being in peacefulness, that is celebration. Being in that space of okayness, acceptance, without resistance, the absence of separateness. The absence of separateness is celebration. Separation is misery. And absence of separation is celebration. It's simple as that. So as long as you are remembering that and operating and coming from that background of who you are, the situation may be anything. The situation may be that your mother needs a lot of help. She's very sick and she's very suffering a lot. That is all foreground. What is the background in which you are operating? The background in which you're operating is love. And as long as you are aware of this background in which you're operating, the particular situation is whatever it is. It hardly makes any difference. So, and if somebody is not appreciating whatever you're doing for them, they're not appreciating. Okay. So what are they operating out of? What is their background? What is the background from which they are operating? Why would somebody who is being helped not be grateful? Just think for a minute from that perspective, from their side of the situation. What is the background of their What is keeping them away from gratitude?
They are not with their real background.
Correct.
Selfish.
It is an absence of love. It is an absence of love. It's an forgetting of that background which they also are. They are also only love. There is nothing else there. There is only one background. It's not as if I have one background, you have another background. There is only one overall oneness background. The background of theirs is also love. And they are separated from that background and therefore experiencing that separation. But let me ask you this question. When anyone is separated from love, do they feel celebration or do they feel misery or suffering?
Misery.
Misery. So here is somebody in front of you who is experiencing separation of love. But let me ask you this one more very important question. Can suffering from love cause misery to somebody whose background and true essence is not love? If you are not at all concerned about love, love has nothing to do with you, will separation from love make you miserable?
No.
No, no. So even this person who is so-called miserable because of separation from love, what is the background of this suffering?
Love again.
Love again. Sonal, think, understand. So the background of all that is happening in our entire life. I mean, we have heard all these songs. All is love, love is all. We have read it everywhere. We have, seen it in songs, seen it in the Shastras, in the Upanishads, wherever, or the Bible. Love is everything. But what does it mean? It means this, that the background of all things that arise in this universe, the background of every single thing that arises in the universe is love. And you are that. So look, I want everyone to be very clear about this. We don't assemble, we don't meet every evening because you are something less. You, each one of you is nothing but the immortal background of love, the background of divine. Each one of you is nothing but divine. The shape and the form and the bodies and the names and all may differ, but you, who you are in your true essence, is nothing but divinity. And all we are gathering here is to remind ourselves and remember that. It is not to become that. It is not to improve ourselves. It is not because we are inadequate. You are completely adequate. You're completely wise. You're completely knowledgeable. You're completely loving. You're completely perfect. You're completely beautiful. The only thing that can go from here to here is a forgetting. You may forget that I am that, but there is nothing to learn to become that. I have nothing to give, nothing to teach. I only have a reminder and a remembrance that listen, why? Why would you ever be miserable when you know all you are is love? And that love is the greatest, greatest source of infinite joy, infinite truth, infinite beauty. You are that. How could you ever suffer and be miserable and say I'm low, unless you're forgetting. Only if you forget. So how is this forgetting happening? Why are we forgetting? So here is what some something that came to me, that in order to play these roles of doctor, engineer, whatever, healer, caretaker, all these roles, to play this role, the infinite background that you are has to condense into this specific form and this specific role in order to pretend to play this game. We have to pretend that we are not that. You have to pretend. So going back to my famous Amitabh Bachchan Coolie #1 movie, I don't know why I cannot think of any other movie. I can only think of Coolie #1. Amitabh Bachchan has to pretend to be a coolie to play that role. He has to pretend, isn't it? He has to pretend he's a coolie. Can he be Amitabh Bachchan and go on the station, मैं Amitabh Bachchan हूँ, मैं ये सामान नहीं उठाता, मैं किसी कुली को बुला लो, अरे क्या हुआ, मैंने ये लाल वर्दी पहन रखी है तो मैं ऐसे काम नहीं करता. But no, he has to pretend. He has to pretend he's a coolie for the time being. He has to pretend. Oh, I'm pretending I'm a coolie. Okay. चलो भाई, अरे ट्रेन आ गई, चलो भागो, सामान उठाओ. And that's how he plays the game. So in order to play this game called life on this level, on this particular level of reality, this relative level of reality where we are separated into these multiple objects and millions of objects and billions of people and trillions of life forms and gazillions of stars and planets. In this realm where we have this oneness, which is all there is, purposely has separated itself out, बांट दिया अपने आप को सारी ओर खेलने के लिए. और खेल जो जिन लोगों को बांटा, उसको लास्ट इंस्ट्रक्शन ये दिया कि सुनो, आपको थोड़ा प्रिटेंड करना पड़ेगा. ओके, मैं जानता हूं, दिस इज वननेस टेलिंग यू जस्ट बिफोर यू वर बॉर्न. मुझे पता है कि तुम जो हो वो कोई अलग नहीं हो मेरे से, मैं ही हूं, मेरा ही हिस्सा हो, लेकिन ये थोड़ा सा गेम खेलना है, इसीलिए मैं आपको भेज रहा हूं ये शरीर के साथ, और आपको प्रिटेंड करना है. ठीक है, प्रिटेंड करना कि आप अभी जन्म लोगे और फिर ये रोगे, फिर बड़े हो जाओगे. ये प्रिटेंड करते जाना आप जब तक ये चलता है, ये किस्सा प्रिटेंड करना. और आपने कहा ठीक है, चलो ये गेम खेलेंगे क्योंकि मजा आएगा, क्योंकि ये गेम खेलेंगे, कोई और भी लोग होंगे, और बच्चे होंगे, और बड़े होंगे, और चीजें होंगी, हम इस सब के साथ खेलेंगे. ओके, oneness, bye. I'm going to pretend. And you arrive on this planet in this form, in this shape. And you start pretending. Because if you don't pretend, who are you? You are the infinite. Infinite cannot play with finite. You are everywhere. आपको स्कूल जाना है तो स्कूल क्या जाओगे, आप तो उधर ही हो. स्कूल ही आप हो, टीचर भी आप हो. Knowledge itself is you. You cannot go to school. You want to go to school, you have to pretend you are a student. So you have to pretend and you keep pretending. So जब तक ये pretend कर रहे हो, supposing you're pretending, and while you're pretending in सब घर खेले हैं कभी आप, सोनल छोटे थे तब खेले हैं ना? You pretend, अच्छा ओके, कोई सहेली है उसको बोलो, ओके यू आर द डैडी, ओके आई एम द मॉमी, यू आर द डैडी एंड शी इज द बेबी. correct? And I'm pretending. And then supposing says, okay, chalo abhi khana banate hain. Pretend khana banana hai. And then the wife says, "Arey, sabji nahi lai main." So what happens to you? Do you get miserable? Sabji nahi hai to. What do you say? What do you say?
अभी ले आती हूँ.
Exactly. अभी ले आती हूँ. चलो. और 1 सेकंड में जाके ले आए सब्जी, और हाथ में कोई सब्जी वब्जी नहीं है. देखो देखो ये गोभी बटाना सब है मेरे पास. हाथ में कुछ नहीं है, लेकिन है, because you're pretending. So pretend में there is no problem. Pretend में there is no problem. The situation is कि shortage है. अरे वो बोलेगी रोटी जल गई, चावल भी जल गया, ये सब्जियां भी जल गई, सारा खाना जल गया. Now what? Now what?
सब इमेजिनरी
सब इमेजिनरी है. क्या करोगे तभी? ये घर गत्ते के खेल में आप क्या करोगे? सारा खाना जल गया, और अभी डैडी आने वाले हैं ऑफिस में से, खाना जल गया, क्या करोगे? एनी प्रॉब्लम? व्हाट यू विल? फिर से बना लेंगे यार, क्या है, फट से हो जाएगा, अभी बना लेंगे. और बिकॉज यू आर ओनली प्रिटेंडिंग. इफ इट वाज अ रियल डैडी, रियल फूड, रियल दिस, रियल दैट, इट्स अ बिग प्रॉब्लम. बट लेकिन आपका बैकग्राउंड क्या है? आपका बैकग्राउंड है कि मैं खेल रहा हूं और प्रिटेंड कर रहा हूं. तो ये बैकग्राउंड जब तक याद है, तब तक ये घर घर में चाहे आसमान टूट पड़े, जमीन हिल जाए, कुछ भी हो जाए, आप खेलते रहोगे या नहीं? You will keep playing. And this play is nothing but another word for celebrating. You're celebrating because you remember that I'm only pretending. I am not this daddy or mommy or baby. I am me. Because you're pretending, there is no problem. Now, supposing in the same situation, you take it too far. And instead of pretending to be this and pretending I'm not Sonal, you forget that you are not Sonal. Sorry, you forget that you are Sonal. And you really think you are that daddy who has come to a house, ye khana pura jal gaya hai. And you forget that you are just playing. If you forget, what will happen? You will celebrate and play, or you will become miserable? Miserable. Wohi situation. Same situation, you will be totally miserable because now you have forgotten that you are not this daddy or anything. It's just this. So when the instruction or the signal or the final instruction after creating this separate you, the final instruction was, Sonal, go and pretend and enjoy this game. That was the last instruction before the separation. And that also temporary separation. Knowing that you are actually, there is no such thing as separation because you are made of that same. It's like, you take a glass of water out of the ocean. Is that water any different than the ocean? So from pretending, when you go to forgetting, all you have to do is remember. And when you remember who you are, then what? You just continue playing the game. Meantime, you are having fun. You are celebrating. Why? Because the game was why you came in the first place. And ये भी होता है ना, चलो घर घर खेल के बोर हो जाते हैं. क्या बोलते हैं? चलो छोड़ो इसको यार, हाइड एंड सीक खेलते हैं. Is it not? Full freedom to pretend something else. Okay, अभी मैं I am the वो blind man's buff, क्या कहते हैं, आंधड़ा पाटा. So I'm going to pretend that I cannot see, and I'm going to tie this thing, and I'm going to pretend this, and I'm going to try and catch you. So now it's another game. So you are free. There is no restriction on which game you want to play. You want to play doctor, you want to play fashion designer, you want to play some other game, whatever you want to play, it's available and it's open. But the only problem, it's not even a problem, it's the only situation where you experience misery and suffering is when you forget you are that. When you forget you are that, and that separation, the only unhappiness in the universe is separation from self. And ultimately, the only joy in the universe is the knowing of self. There is no other joy. And that knowing of self can happen in different forms. You see a beautiful flower and you know yourself. You hear a beautiful piece of music and you know yourself. You see the sunset and you know yourself. So although this joy can come in different shapes and forms, ultimately it is the joy of knowing yourself. And whatever connects you with that knowing of yourself brings you that joy. But ultimately the only joy is that. And ultimately the only misery is separation from self. Separation from who you really are. And it is you only. So, and it is not even a real separation. It is only an apparent separation. It is only a forgetting that you are not separate. You are not really separate. You cannot be really separate. You are never separate. You are never not aligned. You are always aligned. You are always the divine. The background of you is always I, the divine. The only thing that can happen is forgetting that you are not separate. And it feels like separation because you have forgotten. But you are never actually separate. Oneness does not abandon you because there is nothing else there. It is the only thing that exists. It is all there is. You are always in the arms of the beloved. You may forget that you are in the arms of the beloved. And you may think you are in the arms of the beloved. You may convince yourself that you are not in the arms of the beloved. You may forget it. But it is never actually true. And we see these little, signs everywhere. Like I've read today only on one truck, something about मी तुझ्या पाठीशी आहे. Always. Doesn't say, huh?
घाबरू नको वत्सा, मी तुझ्या
घाबरू
पाठीशी आहे.
नको, मी तुझ्या पाठीशी आहे. So it doesn't say only when you are good, मी तुझ्या पाठीशी आहे. Only when you are perfect, मी तुझ्या पाठीशी आहे. Only when your circumstances are beautiful, मी तुझ्या पाठीशी आहे. Only when everything is hunky-dory in your life. Only when the vegetables are not burnt. Only when the roti is not burnt. Only when everything is working perfectly. Then मैं तुझ्या पाठीशी आहे. No. Doesn't say that. Unconditional. Because it is nothing to do with the circumstance. And that also is only an apparent nothing to do. In a way, it has nothing to do with the circumstance. But if you go into the circumstance, again, you will find nothing but love, nothing but the same, nothing but oneness. So in a way, we are independent of whatever is happening. When we look at ourselves as a separate self, as a separate body, as a separate person, then you have to think about okay, I am this. You look backwards at your background. But when you are out of that and you remember who you are, then look again outside and find yourself again out there. Because everything and everyone, every object has come with the same instruction. Sabhi cheese, हर एक life, every manifestation, every form of creation has arrived on this universe with the same final instruction. I am you. You are me. For a while, go and pretend as if you are not me and see what that feels like. And your journey will, the most fulfilling journey that you will ever have is reuniting with me, which is nothing but remembering. Oh, I was never separate. I am never separate. I am this. I am this. I am this. So it's about knowing. It's about this. It's about knowing the background of all. Background of everything that there is only you. Only you. Showing up in different forms and shapes. And as long as you remember who you are, that remembering itself is celebration. That is the celebration. And that remembering you can do anytime, anywhere, everywhere, here, now. Possible to remember in the middle of what? Middle of taking a bath, middle of making a dinner, middle of a difficult argument with somebody. Is it possible to remember who you are? Possible to remember who you are if somebody is being ungrateful? Possible or not?
At
Yes.
times difficult, but we need to remind ourselves.
Exactly. I'm not saying it's difficult or easy. Is it possible?
Possible.
It is possible.
It is possible. It is possible. So if you remember, wonderful. If you forget, all you have to do is remember. If you forget, wonderful. You're forgotten what to do. Remember.
Are you there?
Are you there? Are you there? Are you there? Yes, I'm there. Who am I? Who is that I that is answering? ये जवाब कौन दे रहा है? मैं दस्तक दे रहा हूं, आप हैं, और जवाब कौन दे रहा है? मैं हूं. मी तुझा पाठीशी आहे. मैं हूं. I am there. I am that. And that answer will come anytime, every time, in any situation.
All the time.
All the time, anytime, now.
Okay.
So just that, Sonal, nothing. You are all of it. You are the miracle. Even your body, like I was saying earlier, is a miracle. Everyone, every body, everything, each piece of creation is a miracle. ये मिरेकल को वाव 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 करते जाओ. जिंदगी भर करोगे वाव तो भी खत्म नहीं होगा ये वाव. उतना बड़ा वाव है ये लाइफ. This opportunity to help, this opportunity to forgive. Supposing somebody is ungrateful to you, it is an opportunity to remember that this person is suffering. Nobody is ungrateful unless they are suffering from separation from self. Opportunity to forgive, opportunity to give even more because you are love. But instead we often take the opposite path. मैंने इतना किया, वो तो मेरे को गाली दे रहा है, जा अभी मैं कुछ नहीं करेगा. What have you done? You have separated yourself from yourself and you become more and more miserable because that separation is misery. But when you remember, oh, yeah, this person is ungrateful because they are suffering. What do I do with somebody who is suffering? I offer my blessings. I offer my love again, so that they remember that they are also loved. Clear? Wonderful.
Yes, sir.
Great. Any comments, questions? Naresh bhai bolo. Mute पे है, आवाज नहीं आ रही है. हाँ?
आज का best.
आज का best. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wonderful.
Too good.
Great.
Superb.
Somebody said superb. Meera ji said superb. At the exact same moment as you said superb, she typed superb. That's serendipity. The universe always aligns. Universe is aligned. Why? Because it is one. The separation is only apparent. Naresh bhai kahan gaye? हाँ. कूली नंबर 1 उसके बारे में क्या बोलना है? नहीं, आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा है नरेश.
We are always remember कूली नंबर 1.
Yes. या जब भी हम भूल जाएंगे कूली नंबर 1 को याद करना कि क्या अमिताभ बच्चन वो कूली के कंधों पर जो बोझ लादा जाता है, is he suffering from that बोझ or does he know कि ये तो अभी की बात है यार, उठा ले, मैं तो घर जाके 10th रोड पे अपने बंगले में आराम करूंगा शाम को.
अमीर, अरे संजीव खाली बैग उठाता है, वजन वाला नहीं उठाता वो.
वो भी हो सकता है.
ऐसा
अमिताभ बच्चन मूवी is just कूली
अमिताभ बच्चन मूवी what?
It's just कूली, not कूली number 1. कूली number 1 गोविंदा.
अच्छा, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Amitabh Bachchan movie is just कूली.
कूली, okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Okay. चलो अभी हम गोविंदा से बात करें. कूली नंबर 1 गोविंदा. हाँ.
मतलब वो खाली बैग प्रिटेंड ऐसा करता है कि बहुत हैवी है.
हाँ.
उठाता तो खाली है, तो मुंह ऐसा करता है कि लगे कि बहुत
हैवी है. हाँ, वो भी हो सकता है.
Everything pretend.
Everything is pretend.
Pretend.
Yeah.
I have a question. Can I ask?
Yes. Swaroop ji.
Going by Advaita Vedanta, Advaita, you talked about the levels of reality. If I just heard it right, levels of reality is being discussed by Advaita.
Of course.
Advaita, there are 3 different levels of reality. It's called the Pratibhasik, which is the illusion. The second is called the Vyavaharik, which is the behavioral. And the third one is called Paramarthik, or the absolute reality.
Correct.
Here, when we are talking about this behavioral reality, this is we're talking about the enacting of roles, right?
Correct.
That we are enacting roles in different as different characters.
Correct.
Now the question here is, when we are enacting character, for example, Amitabh Bachchan is enacting the role of a coolie. Whatever he does in that role of the coolie, he is accountable in the movie. He does a crime, he goes to the jail in the movie.
Correct.
But real Amitabh Bachchan is not affected.
Correct.
So when we are talking about the karma of this Vyavaharik level,
correct,
will it ever affect our karma at the absolute level? I hope you're understanding what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Will there be a karma when it is in the absolute level of Paramarthik reality? Because in Mandukya Upanishad, what it is told is that there is no real karma.
Correct.
The karma theory is not accepted by Mandukya.
Correct. Because the absolute can never get into karma nor be...
Exactly. Whatever the body is doing, karma of the body stays with the body.
Correct.
Similarly, when we are talking about the love, the love that we are talking about sharing with people who are suffering, that love, again, is it an expression of the bodily love, talking to the person, trying to console, or is it an absolute love, which is only transformed in form of a wave? Let's say a intention. Because a person who is irritated with me, I try to go and tell the person more good things, he will get more irritated with me.
Sure.
Right. So what I'm asking is when we are talking about sharing love, let that love only be be there as a wavelength of mind where we do not transact with him in real. And does the karma get affected at all?
Correct. So let me address the first one first. And so from what I understand, okay, I'm no scholar on any of this, but from what I understand and what I experience, that the way I experience the absolute is not, whatever is happening at the relative level is only limited to the relative level. Your jail, your punishment, your crime, your murder, your good deed, bad deed, everything is all just part of the relative world. And the illusionary level which you referred to is thinking that this relative world is the real world, is the only world, is the absolute world. So it is, the illusion is not that the real world doesn't exist. The illusion is not that the real world does not exist. That's not the illusion. The illusion thinking that there is really a real world, not knowing that the absolute is the all that is really true. The absolute is the only truth. The just like, you know, in the dream, which is the relative truth in the moment of that particular dream, everything is created and all kinds of things come and go, but there is no reality to that dream. There is no substance. The reality of that dream is only the dreamer, who when he wakes up he sees that there was nothing there at all the karma plus minus जो भी हुआ, जेल में गया, जो भी हुआ वो सब उसमें हो गया, खत्म हो गया. उसकी कोई अपनी independent existence या reality है ही नहीं. So these karma theory, all these are simply ways that we use to understand this relative truth and has really nothing to do with the absolute. The absolute is not karma bound. There is nothing like karma. I mean, the absolute is neither doing anything nor is not there in any place, is not there in any time. So an entity which has no space, no dimension, no time, is eternal, is always in the now. For that, the whole karma thing is not even part of the picture. So yeah, there is no absolute responsibility for all that. Is at the relative level. Everything that we are experiencing is at the relative level. True. I think that's...
And you know, when we think about it in that way, there's another big problem.
Yeah.
Whenever we talk about, you know, virtue and vice,
correct,
talk about virtue in the afterlife, because whenever you're am I audible?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So what I was telling is, whatever virtue you're talking about, pap, punya, all these things, we refer to things that will happen after the life, right?
No, but okay, I never talk about pap punya, but okay, people do talk about it.
People do it, right? Because
Yeah.
why we should live a righteous life, for example.
Yeah.
It's apparently seen people who are not living a righteous life, they are apparently more happier than a person who's living a righteous life. Even they...
Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I've seen a lot of very good people having very miserable situations in their life and challenges.
Right.
So I don't know if that's true necessarily. That and to do something and to live righteously because it will make you happy, that itself is another illusion.
Exactly.
Because your true happiness has nothing to do with this. Your true happiness has to do with being one with who you really are.
True.
And if you are operating out of goodness and doing good because it is an overflowing of your love, then your reward, your happiness is already right there. Hisab udhar hi chukta ho jata hai. Out of love, I offer help and I experience joy. Sonal, again for you, for your example also, when you offer help to this person and you experience it out of love, you experience joy right there on the spot. Hisab khatam. Because oneness just doesn't operate in the future and past and all. It's in the now. So after you offered that help, that person was ungrateful. Grateful has nothing to do with this moment. It is all finished. So because if you are helping, thinking that, oh, I will get thanks from this other person, one. Second, I will be accumulating some good karmas and I will be getting some good things in my life because I'm so helpful. All of this is just conjecture. It is just a belief. There's no basis in reality. In fact, we know, so many people who do so many good things in their life and have absolutely difficult, challenging, miserable circumstances. And they may not be miserable, I'm not saying. But ऐसा कुछ correlation मुझे तो नजर नहीं आता. And the reverse is also true. All kinds of people who are engaging in so-called,
So, but in all children, it is like that statement. Hello?
Sorry? In all?
Yeah, you gave me one statement, neki kar aur kuएं mein dal.
Exactly. Neki kar kuएं mein dal, because your neki is your opportunity to express who you are. Is your opportunity, and you took that opportunity to express who you are. And that's the end of it. अभी बाद में जाके मुझे स्वर्ग मिलेगा, अच्छा जन्म मिलेगा, all this is, who knows? I have no clue. I mean, it's possible. I'm not saying it is not possible. I'm not saying it cannot be true. It may be true. But that is not the basis of my experience and expression of life. The basis and the expression of my life is on expressing who I really am. And finding that in everything and everyone, and operating out of that in the here, in the now, in this moment.
And one more thing I was thinking, like, you were talking about the qualities of Atman.
Right.
Do you agree that the Atman has got only 3 qualities instead of many qualities that we're talking about? One is existence, the second is knowledge, and the third is bliss. This is Vedanta says. It has only 3 qualities. All other qualities are not qualities of Atman. So
Right. Right. All other qualities flow from these 3 fundamental qualities. These are the 3 fundamental qualities. And to take it even one step further, the oneness is completely transparent. Nirgun bolte hain. 3 quality bhi nahi, nirgun. So it is instead of saying knowledge, I would say it is an absence of ignorance. Instead of saying love, it is an absence of separateness. And instead of saying peace as a quality, it is an absence of agitation, or an absence of disturbance. So rather than giving it a sakarmic name or a quality, it is nakaratmak quality. Not that. Yeah. Neti. So it's not all of those. When you know not all of those, then you arrive at that place of absolute bliss, which you cannot say what the qualities are, because it is not an object. It is not something you can see or perceive or touch or feel or taste, or it is not that. But yeah, for the purposes of interacting at this Vyavaharik level, because at that ultimate level, there is only silence. There is nothing to say. There is nothing to do. You are this. And that is it. There is nothing else. But for the purpose of this game, this conversation, we assign at least something we can have something to talk about. And that could be, like you say, Satchidanand, existence, bliss, and truth or knowledge, same thing. So Sat is the truth or knowledge. So we assign those 3 qualities for the purpose of conversation, for the purpose of engaging and discovering and exploring and understanding. And most important, Swarupji, expressing this knowledge given this equipment, given this eyes and ears and voice and hands and a body, doing everything that we possibly can every moment of our life to express what we know and understand. So it's not just about merely knowing or merely understanding, because express agar nahi karna hota, to Satchidanand jo hai wo to hai hi, ye brahmand ki koi आवश्यकता ही नहीं है. Because it is absolute truth, absolute knowledge, and absolute bliss. So the whole game which you and I are players in this form, the only purpose is to express all of that to the highest possible level. And that is what our whole endeavor, if at all we want to call it endeavor, actually you're already that. There is nothing you have to do to become that. The only thing I can say is, how can I make my body, my mind, my thoughts more and more eligible to express this, more and more qualified to express the Satchidanand, which is the true nature of I. So whether that involves meditation or kriya or yoga or reading books or being with wonderful people or listening to something, all of those, but not to become better, not to become something. You are already that. Coming from enlightenment, coming from love, starting with love and starting with divine. Now let me see how this body, this mind, this thought process, this physical world, I can enhance so that it is more and more aligned with this infinite quality that I already am. So the quest is not of enlightenment. The quest is not of searching for divine. The quest is of living in divine, expressing divine, being in divinity, not finding divinity. The search is over. You are it, all of you. Each one of us, each one of you is it, is that, is this. Nothing less, not even a micro thing less than all that there is. Just pretending for the time being, that's all. So pretend well, pretend joyfully. Great. Wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukh Bhag Bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rashmi ji. I don't know if you've introduced yourself on this before, but oh yes. Oh, wonderful. Great to see you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Oh, okay, wonderful. No,
Wonderful.
I'm not wearing my reading glasses, so I could just make out Rashmi. But okay. So just introduce yourself real quickly. 2 lines: who you are, what you do, where you live, and anything about today, whatever your experience.
Sir, I'm Rashmi Hasija. I live in Kalyan, and I have 2 kids. One you met in Memory Bell,
Yes.
and a Vedosi friend, Simran.
Right.
And I'm working with my husband as a part-time, 3-4 hours.
In what?
My husband is an income tax practitioner.
Sorry,
And
what practitioner?
Income tax.
Income tax.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Yeah, and a financial advisor.
Wonderful. Welcome. Look forward to meeting you. Thank you
so much.
Welcome. Most welcome. Okay, everyone. Jai Gurudev.
Jai
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.